It is 5 p.m. A quorum is present, and the meeting has been duly called and posted in the time and manner required by law. I'd like to invite Zach Inahos, youth pastor at Church on the Rock, to open the meeting with a prayer and lead the audience in the pledges to the American and Texas flags.
Let's bow our heads and pray. Father God, we come to you in the name of Jesus, and Lord, we give you thanks. God, thank you for every single person that is here represented. God, thank you for our school district. Thank you for the children. Thank you for the parents, the guardians, the staff, all of the faculty. God, we just thank you for people that love our children and love this great city of Lubbock. God, I pray, Lord, that you would give us wisdom, give us guidance. God, give us knowledge on how to move forward so we can best serve our city and our children. God, again, we thank you so much. God, I pray, Lord, that you would teach all of us to love God with all of our heart, all of our soul, all of our strength. And Lord, help us love our neighbor in the same manner. And it's in your mighty name we pray. Amen. 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 I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Zach. Okay, next I would like to invite the most positive and energetic person that's in this in this fine building, Cesar De Leon, Executive Director of Fine Arts, to recognize our state qualifying mariachi groups.
He was out there.
Did you hear that?
Will somebody turn the mic on for the next? Is Cesar here?
He was out there.
Your mic should be fixed. Do we need to go ahead and move? Do you think?
Ryan, will you check your mic?
Testing. Listen. Hello.
He's coming up. He's coming up.
Howdy, board members. It's so nice to see everybody.
Oh, there
I
you
missed
go.
your introduction.
Oh, I apologize, President Kerr, but we're here. We're checking on all our students, and I wanted to tell you guys, on January 31st of 2026, students from Mariachi Mesteño at Coronado High School and Mariachi de Oro at Lubbock High School proudly represented their schools at the 2026 UIL's West Texas Region Contest held in El Paso, Texas. And that's where we learned that they were advancing to state. After earning sweepstake ratings for their outstanding performance, both groups, yet again for another school year, qualify for the 2026 UIL State Mariachi Festival in Seguin, Texas, which happened this past Saturday, February 21st. So if we can give them a round of applause, y'all, because we're so proud of them. So President Curry and team, I'm proud to present you the following students from Coronado High School. We have Amar Balduc Castro. We have Marina Casey. Zoe Castello. Christian Flores. Mackenzie Guevara. Tristan Hart. Charlie Martinez. Bethany Poulat. And Bethany and Kyle Poulat are not here yet, but we have Adrina Rodriguez. Vaughn Sawyer. Tristan Serna. Bailey Shaw. Hadassah Vasquez. Isaac Zacarias. Bethany Poulat. And Kyle Poulat. And President Curry, all of these students are under the direction of Mr. Leonel Garza. We're very proud. So students, come on in to take a group picture, please.
Let's get a few lines, please, ladies and gents. Tall people in the back.
I think they call that a dynasty, right?
Yeah, hold your certificate where they can see it. There you go.
Thank you, team. And President Curry, as our students are walking out, we're about to welcome Lubbock High Mariachi.
We'll give them a second.
Yes, sir. No?
I laughed that he has a.
From Lubbock High School board members, we have Neela Baeza. Avery De Leon. Alejandro Estrada. Eli Granados. Arturo Huerta Mendieta. Chloe Johnson. Kylan Kitchen. Alina Lares. Jalen Lucio. Zachary Perez. Ernesto Rodríguez. Juliet Rodríguez. And Lexi Wood. And board members, this whole group is under the direction of Miss Kim Gonzalez from Lubbock High School. Guys, let's take a picture now. Thank you, everybody.
I'd like to continue with Mr. DeLeon with respect to recognition of our all-state musicians.
Yes, President Curry, board members, and Superintendent Rollo, it is my distinct pleasure to also let you know that we had 8 Lubbock ISD band, choir, and orchestra students that were recently earned the All-State honor from the Texas Music Education Association. This achievement highlights the exceptional quality of music education here in Lubbock ISD, where students receive top-tier instruction and support from their dedicated teachers. This district's music programs continue to cultivate talent, foster discipline, and promote artistic excellence, which is evident through the success of these students at the state level. Please help me welcome the following students. From Talkington School for Young Women Leaders, we have Annie Hart. Annie Hart is an all-state choir member, and Annie's teacher is Ms. Donna Barbie. Thank you, guys. From Monterey High School, we have Hannah Gray. And that is pronounced Gurley. It's Hannah Gurley. Hannah Gurley is a proud all-state band member, and it is under the direction of another great Mr. Rodney Gurley, Hannah's dad. Also from Monterey High School, we have Chris Hammonds. Chris is a member of the All-State Orchestra group and is under the direction of Mr. Brett Barrage. And let's do a Monterey group picture. Thank you, Monterey. From Coronado High School, we have Ian Kennedy. Ian is an all-state band musician and is under the direction of Mr. Josh Shaw. Also from Coronado High School, we have Addison Shaw. Addison is also an all-state band member, and she is too under the direction of Mr. Josh Shaw, Addison's dad. And now let's do a Coronado group picture. Way to go, Coronado High School. From Lubbock High, we have Caden Flowers. Caden is a proud member of the All-State Band Group, and his teacher, Mr. Bayless, is not here with us today, but we have Miss Andrea Martinez, who was Caden's middle school band teacher. Also from Lubbock High, we have Rebecca Torres. Rebecca is an all-state choir musician, and she's under the direction of Miss Christy Lujan and Mr. Tim Boone. And lastly, from Lubbock High, we have Mr. Kevin Zhao. Kevin is an all-state orchestra musician, and he is under the direction of Mr. Alejo Zanaya. And now let's do a Lubbock High picture. Perfect. Wonderful. And now we're going to do a group with all of our 8 All-Staters. Come on in.
This will be like 6 lines. What do y'all think?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, President Curry. President Curry, thank you for everything. And parents, if you guys want to meet us out in the hallway to meet your student, if you are an all-state parent or a mariachi parent, we continue to take pictures out in the hallway. Thank you for joining us today, everybody. Or all-state and mariachi.
We're going to hold for parents for just a second.
No. This is, she's talking with John Wedding, so I have to take notes. Just so that my notes, some of the comments are.
I'll let you go first. I know, I will.
Yes, yes, don't sit, yeah, y'all come here. When you come in here,
As long as you're not planning the whole meeting, because we
we're gonna front row Joe with you. You want us to stay? You want us to stay? I mean. Oh, y'all can move too. We're just saying there's seats.
Next, I'd like to invite Amy Baker, Amy, Executive Director of Career and Technical Education, in recognition of our HOSA state qualifiers.
Thank you, Dr. Curry, Dr. Rolo, President Curry, board members.
I like that.
Doctor, everybody's a doctor today because we are introducing our HOSA state qualifiers, our Health Occupation Students of America. These students recently competed in the district competition with 18 students advancing to the highly competitive state competition. Students competed in medical reading, pathophysiology, pharmacology, phlebotomy, healthy living, mental health promotion, community awareness, EMT, and HOSA Bowl. These are bright young students that are going to be taking care of us and providing our health care in the future. I am excited to recognize them today. Those joining us this evening are first, Alana Baxter. She was here earlier. Jet Hurst. Elizabeth Cood. Caitlin Castle. Jayana Holmes. Xavier Liao. Okay. Jacqueline Velasco. Ashton Ford. Addison Spencer. Frank Zaragoza. Morgan Dennison. Jaden Gray. Freya Sahu. And Bailing Wei. We are excited to wish these students luck as they compete on March 24th through the 26th in Corpus Christi, Texas at the state competition. We know they will represent us well. These incredible students are also supported by their two sponsors, Miss Brianna Brady and Elsa Flores at the Byron Martin Advanced Technology Center. And we're going to go ahead and do one group HOSA picture.
Let's get at least 2 rows. Smart folks. Come on, guys. Ladies.
You're going slow.
Solid folks in the back.
Thank you, President Curry.
Next, I'd like to invite Mike Meeks, Executive Director of Athletics, to the podium in recognition of our swimming and diving state qualifiers. Mike?
All right, Board of Trustees, Dr. Rollo, thank you for the opportunity to recognize our state qualifiers in swimming and wrestling. On February 6th and 7th, Lubbock ISD Aquatics hosted the UIL Conference 1, Region 1 5A Swimming and Diving Championships at the Pete Regas Aquatic Center. 21 Lubbock ISD students earned the opportunity to compete at the 2026 UIL State Swimming and Diving State Meet at the University of Texas in Austin last weekend. We'll start with these state qualifying students, and we're going to start with Lola. Come stand by me. We'll start with you. We're going to do this a little bit different, but
Stick to the script.
yeah. Okay. From Talkington School of Young Women Leaders. Okay. Please welcome the first ever state qualifier in UIL athletics, sophomore Lola Biltron from Talkington. Lola was 4th place in the girls 1 meter diving. Her dive coach, Allison Kreitz, is unable to attend today due to a death in the family, but assistant dive coach, Adam Maurice, is here.
Ken, we have been talking to you.
Well done.
All right. From Coronado High School, sophomore Ellis Jackson. Ellis competed in the 200-yard IM, the 500-yard free, where he was 18th place. Next is 10th grader Emma Jackson. Emma qualified in the 200-yard IM. Next is senior Nicholas Williams. Nicholas was in the 100-yard breaststroke, where he was 7th place. Swim coach for Coronado High School is Dakota Tiefer-Tiller, and assistant swim coach Derek Wheeler. From Monterey High School, sophomore Kanyania Bradford. She was 12th place in the girls 1 meter diving. Next is sophomore Hallie Rosario. Hallie was 17th place in the girls 1 meter diving. Next is 9th grader Coleman McElroy. Coleman was 18th place in the boys 1 meter diving. Next is sophomore Lillian Wade. Lillian was 11th place in the 50-yard free and 14th place in the 100-yard free. They are coached by Allison Kreitz, Adam Reese, Dakota Tifa Taylor, and Derek Wheeler. Monterey pitcher.
It's okay. Maybe two.
Okay, Lubbock High state qualifiers. First up is, I don't believe she's in attendance, Abigail Anderson. She qualified the 200-yard free relay. Next is 9th grader Mary Byers. Mary was 17th place, 200-yard free, 20th place in the 200-yard free relay, 13th place in the 500-yard free, and was on the team member on the 4th place 400-yard free relay. Next is Zoe Deaver. Zoe was on the girls 200-yard medley relay, 20th place 20-yard free relay, and 19th place in the 100-yard backstroke. Next is Stacy Digin. She's on the 200-yard medley relay. She was 8th place in the 500-yard free, 7th place in the 100-yard free, and and a member of the 4th place 400-yard free relay. Next is Paul Grozdanov. Paul was was in the 200-yard free, the 4th place in the 400-yard free relay. And next is Gunnar Hansen. Gunnar, you get to come stand right here. All right, Gunnar Hansen. Gunnar was 5th place in the 200-yard medley relay. He was 7th place in the 100-yard fly. He was a member of the 4th place 400-yard free relay, and he was the state champion in the 100-yard breaststroke. Please congratulate Gunnar Hansen. Please note that Gunnar swam a time of 52.62, and he holds the state 5A record. And if I'm not mistaken, it's the record in all classifications. Is that correct? That'd be 4A, 5A, and 6A. Okay. He holds the all-time record in that event. So please congratulate Alabama signee Gunnar Hansen. Next is sophomore Isabella Leyva. Isabella was a member of the 20th place 200-yard free relay. Next is senior Diego Martinez Ocon. Diego competed on the 5th place 200-yard medley relay. He was 18th place in the 200-yard IM. Next is senior Reed Moulter. Reed was 15th place in the boys 1 meter diving. Next is junior Sarah Poe. Sarah was on the 200-yard medley relay. She was 7th place in the 200-yard IM. She was 9th place in the 100-yard breaststroke, and she was a member of the 4th place 400-yard free relay. Next is junior Reese Raines. Reese was 5th place in the 200-yard medley relay, 15th place in the 100-yard free, 11th place in the 100-yard backstroke, and he was also a member of the 4th place 400-yard free relay. Next is junior Jack Spalding. Jack was 5th place in the 200-yard medley relay, 17th place 200-yard free. He was 4th place in the 500-yard free and also a member of the 400-yard 4th place relay. Next is junior Layla Stankus. Layla was 20th place in the 200-yard free relay. Next is sophomore Gabriella Seebecker. She was on the 200-yard medley relay. She was on the 20th place 200-yard free and 18th place in the 100-yard fly and 4th place on the 50-yard free relay. Next is junior Emma Volchenkov. Emma was 21st place in the 500-yard free. Swim coaches are still waiting on the next picture. They're here.
At least two.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd like to continue with Mr. Meeks in recognition of our wrestling state qualifiers.
All right, as they're working their way in, on February 6th and 7th, Lubbock ISD Athletics hosted the UIL Region 1 5A Wrestling Championships at the Lubbock Memorial Civic Center. We had 13 Lubbock ISD students earn the opportunity to compete at the 2026 UIL State Wrestling Championships at the Berry Center in Cypress, Texas on February 14th and 15th. Our state qualifiers are from Coronado High School. I always really don't want to say the weight class, but I am. So that's just, it's not a big deal to them. In the 125-pound weight class from Coronado High School, Ariana Henderson, she was 2-2. at the state meet. She was coached by head wrestling coach Corey Nichols. All right, from Lubbock High School in the 130-pound weight class, Ariana Criado Silver. Ariana was 1-2 at the state meet. In the 106-pound weight class, Enrique Diosis. Enrique was 3-2 at the state meet, and he finished in 5th place, making him All-State. Next, in the 138-pound weight class, Fernando Diosis. Fernando was 1-2 at the state meet 2 weeks ago. In the 190-pound weight class, Josiah Medrano. Josiah was 2-2 at the state meet. In the 235-pound weight class, Mariela Prieto. Mariella was 3-2 at the state meet. She was the Region 1 5A bronze medalist. In the 120-pound weight class, Elijah Ramos. Elijah was 1-2 at the state meet. In the 132-pound weight class, AJ Ramos. AJ was the Region 1 5A bronze medalist, and he was 0-2 at state meet. In the 150-pound weight class, Jackson Russell. Jackson was the Region 1 5A champion, and he was 4-1 at the state meet, earning a bronze medal. In the 165-pound weight class, Lucas White. Lucas was the Region 1 5A runner-up. He was 3-2 at the state meet, earning him 4th place. Before I introduce the coaches, I want to make this note. This team, the boys team, especially the boys team, at the Texas High School Wrestling Coaches Association Flex Duels in Wichita Falls on January 16th and 7th, the Lubbock High boys team won the state duels championship. Okay? Let me explain that. Wrestling is an individual sport, but in the state duels championship, it's think of it as team bracket play. The teams compete against another team and advance within a bracket. Lubbock High defeated Grapevine 39-29. They defeated Amarillo Caprock 45-22, defeated Azle 37-33, and won the state championship over Mission Sherryland to win the Class 5A state dual championship. So please congratulate the Lubbock High boys. And their wrestling coaches are head coach Richard Leal and Bruce Casillas. And I don't know, there's Bruce right there. So congratulations, guys. Picture time. All right, next up from Monterey High School in the 190-pound weight class, Cheyenne Brown. Cheyenne was the Region 1-5A champion. She was 4-2 at the state meet, earning 5th place, making her All-State. In the 155-pound weight class, Keandra Villagran. Keandra was the Region 1-5A bronze medalist. She was 4-2 at the state meet, also earning her 5th place, making her All-State. These two girls are coached by head wrestling coach Becky Arroyos.
Your photo, ladies. Okay, the next order of business is citizen comments. Before we begin, I would like to review the provisions in board policy governing the procedures for public participation as reflected in BED local. The audience shall not enter into discussion or debate on the matters being considered by the board. I will remind members of the board that the citizen comments section of our board meeting is for the purpose of listening to patrons, but we are not allowed to comment or debate on the issues on issues that are not posted. No presentation shall exceed 3 minutes, and a timer will go off at the completion of 3 minutes. I would ask that you conclude your comments within the time allowed. As I call your name, would you please come up to the podium and state your name for the record? I'd like to invite Charles Byrne to the podium, please.
My name is Charles Byrne. I'm new to Lubbock, but I'm not new to the book fight that you guys are in the middle of. So I want to ask a question. How many of you on the board have children or grandchildren in the district? I mean, you can raise your hand if you'd like, because I'm asking because I heard tonight from the pastor talk about children, and one thing that I've seen in the Lubbock Avalanche newspaper is that you guys basically, whatever you get recommended from your advisory board, like the book Bathe the Cat, that talks about two gay men holding hands and having LGBTQ on the refrigerator, and you guys voted to keep that in schools, and you went with what your advisory board told you. I don't understand why you decided to keep that book in schools, especially for kindergarten age children. That was not a wise decision. And one thing that I would like to see is maybe some of the people that you appointed to these boards that aren't your friends, and have parents that have kids in schools, instead of having the people you decide to pick and put on these boards. Because this reflects you as a board of trustees, the people that you put on these boards. Basically, I'm here, and I will continue to fight this fight. I was in another school system, and we fought city council, and they're now fighting the school system because you guys decide not to take these books out of schools. And by SB 13, that parents have the rights to go to these schools and look at these books and recommend them to the advisory board to be removed. And the superintendent is the CEO of your school system. She is much to blame as everybody on this board of trustees. It's time to protect our children and not protect your interests with your friends. I mean, I see some of you look at the people that are clapping. I just see that you think this is a big game. I can promise you this is not a big game. I'll be coming back every meeting that you have till you decide to make the right decisions and put the people on your boards that need to be on the boards that aren't your friends. And I know you're chosen to be superintendent. Like I said, you're the CEO of this district. All this falls on you as the CEO of this district. It's time for you to step up as the superintendent. Can I say something, or
You can finish your comments, sir.
It's time for you to step up as the superintendent and tell your board to stop putting these books in schools that the kindergarten to fifth grades get to see. Thank you.
I'd like to invite Anna Minharis to the podium, please.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Yes? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Ana Minhares, and I am a parent of 3 kids in school and grandkids. I've been here before, and I've also come to the SLAC meetings. What I have begged for is to please speed up the process of getting these books out of the school. Senate Bill 13 has passed, and I know it was required that a process be put in place. The process is in place, but I strongly believe that you're dragging your feet on it. I'm tired of our children getting raped spiritually and emotionally. It's disgusting what these books show our kids. They have access to this. What kid's not going to be tempted to go look at something like this? It's our parental right, and as taxpayers, to speed up the process of getting these books out of the libraries. As I said before in a meeting, if my children are not old enough to go into a local store to buy pornographic magazines, why are we the taxpayers paying for them so our children can have access to them? It's time to get them out. It's time to stop dragging your feet and get these books out, like today. It's infringing on our parental rights. It's taken up, I feel that it's taken away our parental rights as to how we want to teach our children. It's not up to the public schools or any other entity to indoctrinate our children with this disgusting books or gender identification. It's enough. We, the public, we, the people, are asking you to stop dragging your feet and get these books out of the schools. It's time. We, the taxpayers, are speaking up. We, the parents and grandparents, are speaking up for our children that cannot protect or defend themselves. It's time to get the books out. I have no other way to ask you or to plead with you but to get the books out of the libraries. They should not have access to them. If you want them in there, because at a SLAC meeting, I know that one parent stood up and said that they want their children to be able to identify with them. Well, you know what? Lock them up somewhere where only kids with parental consent can go into those rooms to check these books out. Is that too much to ask for to defend our children? I think not. Thank you. And I too shall be back.
Next, I'd like to invite Jason Corley to the podium.
Thank you guys for allowing me to speak. Mr. Ratcliffe, our sons graduated together last year, but I've got also my wife is a administrator at Southland ISD, much smaller library, but still one you had to go through. one thing I can tell you, serving as county commissioner in Lubbock County for the last 7 years, is that sometimes the size and the scope of the project is not always obvious to the constituent. So I can imagine with as many campuses as y'all have and a number of libraries that you have, it would take some time to review these books. But I'm not one to complain without offering a solution. So I would just like to suggest, could we make? Oh, I'm sorry. Could we make it public, the card catalog or just the digital list, or just put it in a CSV file of all the books that are on file? And if we can do that, oh, y'all have that. Oh, thank you. So that make it easy to review those books to see what's out there. The other thing too is going to be searching content to try to determine some of the things that are in there. I would suggest using ChatGPT or Grok would work pretty well for searching through content. Paradox is another great one for that kind of thing. But who do you ask to help with that? I think your principals could probably help you with that. Just find out which kid got in trouble last for using ChatGPT to write his book report last semester. I promise you he's gotten much better at doing it this semester. So yeah, I think you probably got some helpers that would be willing to help with that. And this is coming from the kid that was, or the guy that was in computer class in high school that loaded up Halo on the school's network so we could all play it in some of our off periods. But I guarantee those students are probably very helpful in their mission to do that. But thank you guys for what you do. And I'm certain you guys are not trying to keep these books in our libraries, but it does take time to find that. But thank you all again for your efforts in this process.
Next, I'd like to invite Johnny Perez to the podium.
Hey, my name is Johnny Perez, and I am a reverend of Arise Church. And I am here because I am interested in the property that is one of the schools that is right now Hodges, and it's been already emptied out. And I wanted to go ahead and present the board with also a letter from Perry. I brought you a letter from also from Dustin Burrows, which is our state representative. I have been recognized in the city for many things that we do, but we help our community and we build our community. One of the things that we want to do in this area, which we don't have anything going for our children in this area, is doing an after-school program also. So it'd be beneficial to do something and put something in place in this area of the city because we don't have anything going in the area of the city. We have many programs which I've already presented to you guys prior. Knitted in Love program, which helps the teen moms from 12 to 19. Also, we have the homeless program that we also, and also we're helping our veterans. We have 18 veterans on our program right now. So these programs are great programs that are helping out our community. At the same time, we've lowered the crime rate in our area. When we got into our church where we're at right now, we were able to lower the crime rate in our whole entire neighborhood by a far. Now, in turn, if we leave this neighborhood, then in turn, who's going to do the work? And right now, we're doing a great job. And our people speak for themselves, and also our representatives speak for me also. So today, we're presenting to you an opportunity to let us purchase this part. We're not asking for you to give it to us. We're asking for you to allow us to buy it. I know that you guys are under attack because of the prior school that was purchased by the Muslims. It wasn't your fault. I clarify that, and I'll put it as a note that you guys had nothing to do with that. You guys sold it to another ministry, which sold it to them, and it has nothing to do with you guys. But if you give me this opportunity, I won't let you down. I will make that place look even better than it's ever looked, and I will actually help out the community more than you can imagine. So give us a shot, Arise Church. I know that on our notes that we gave you guys, some of the guys still think that we're Church of the Blessed, and we were Church of the Blessed for 24 years. But now we've changed our name to Arise Church, and we're rising up to change our neighborhood. I know that everybody here wants to do something for the children, and here it is. If we have nothing to offer them, then they're going to be on the streets, and they're going to be doing things they're not supposed to be doing. And then we're going to have a juvenile system that's even greater than what we have right now. So on behalf of Arise Church, we want to ask you to give us this opportunity to purchase this building. Not give it to us, but allow us to purchase it. And thank you one more time. God bless you guys. I've been praying for each and every one of you, and I will keep on praying for y'all. Bless y'all.
Thank you. I'd like to invite Tanner Stolfo. Excuse me if I butchered that last name.
It was correct.
Good afternoon, Board of Trustees. My name is Tanner Stolfo. First thing I want to say is thank you for all that you do for the children and the students of Lubbock, Texas. I am here on behalf of Arise Church. I am the youth and young adult pastor. I'm here to shed light on programs that we have and some that you might not be aware of, to continue to speak on what Pastor was speaking about. First, for our youth is a project that we have called the Samuel Project. It is a program for our youth that we've been doing for the last 5 years. This program focuses on mentoring our youth to instruct them on their future endeavors and biblical principles. Since starting this project, we have seen an increase in college admissions and a shift in focus on a better lifestyle. Almost 65% of the youth that begin in this program go on to pursue college or some form of higher education like trade school. Our youth and young adults are also a helping hand for the program that he previously mentioned, which is called Heaven's Manna Ministry. It is a program that helps feed and clothe not just our homeless, but also struggling families, such as single mothers and fathers. A change in perspective is the biggest part of character growth, I believe. That is why we are passionate not only about changing our perspective, but our community's perspective. Our Heaven's Manna Ministry feeds over 750 people each month. That is why the Lubbock Food Bank is now partnering with us for the work that we do for the community. Mr. President Ryan Curry, you have a quote that speaks on community, ensuring that children are given a fair opportunity at life. I could not agree with you more. That is why I'm grateful and blessed as a veteran to be part of a church that has programs tailored to exactly that. We also have our Knitted in Love program for our teen parents. This program feeds and clothes the babies for a year straight as soon as they are born, as well as teaching and guiding them to be the best parent that they can be. We also do have our superhero program that we do at the end of the summer. This program aims to provide backpacks and school supplies for our children and our youth. Each year we donate over 375 backpacks full of everything that they will need for the year. Not only does it help our parents, but it takes some relief off the teachers as well. The last program I would like to speak on is our Christmas toy drive. Each year on Christmas Day for the last 18 years, we go into low-income neighborhoods and hand out toys to those who need it. Each year we donate roughly 4,000 toys. Each and every one of our programs we are currently involved in grows each and every year. Each program and ministry we have is aimed at uplifting and providing for the community. Arise Church is a neighborhood church, and we are a community. If we do not help those around us, then how can we call ourselves the church? Arise Church has been here for the community for over 20 years. As we continue to grow, so does our work for the community. Once again, I want to thank you guys for allowing the citizens to come here and voice their words and listening with impartial judgment. Arise Church believes in this board to provide the best education for our students, and I hope that you guys can believe in us as well. Thank you.
I'd like to invite Latasha Juarez, please.
My name is Latasha Juarez. I have been a part of Arise Church since the age of 12. I am now 36 years old. My pastors Johnny, Patricia, and Perez have served this community for over 24 years. And in that time and present, they have seen much growth in the church. Each year, it has grown tremendously for the kingdom and for the community. We have not diminished in growth, even myself, welcoming twin boys to the church and the first to be dedicated unto the Lord at the church. At Arise Church, one of the many programs I am actively involved in is the Knitted in Love program. As a coordinator, we have helped over 250 young teenage girls from ages ranging 12 to 19. Since the program began 4 years ago, we have given spiritual advice concerning what it means to become a parent in this unknown chapter of their lives. Many come from one or no parent in the home. Knitted in Love is a program that is designed to help with unplanned pregnancies. We assist them during the pregnancy and after for up to 1 year. In that time, we do meet their needs on what they would need for their babies, such as diapers, wipes, clothing, lotion, baby wash, and so forth. Our main objective is to encourage them to finish school, to graduate, and to obtain a career that they would love. That even though they have a child, we believe that they can make it. That many things can be taken from them in this life, but one thing that can never be taken from them is their education. That a diploma is worth it. That part. A diploma is worth it. That in the end, that it's going to be something that's going to be for them for the rest of their lives. We have room for expansion and various programs that we provide for our community, such as the homeless. We fed and we sheltered over 150 homeless. We were on the news, and it was a great joy to have them because many people closed the doors on their face. And even though some refused, we still were there. We would still help them. We still gave them food. And how many can say that they opened their church to provide for them, to give them shelter, to give them water, to give them a fresh hot pot of coffee or something in their hand? Arise Church did that. Arise Church did that for the community. And though we don't seek recognition, we only seek it from God. And we thank God because we were able to give back to our community in that way and provide for them when others did not. Give it another 2 years. It is going to be bigger and better for our communities. So we ask for Hodges to be able to be purchased for Arise Church, so it could be something of productive use instead of just an abandoned building. I thank you for your time, and God bless you.
Do we have any members of the public who have signed in to address the board regarding any posted agenda items?
No, we have not.
An executive session will be held under the provisions of Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. It is 6:09 p.m. and we are adjourned to closed session. It is 6:32 p.m. and we are reconvened from executive closed session. Do we have any action items following closed session?
Yes, sir. President Curry?
Yes, ma'am.
I move that we approve the administrative contracts for the 2026-2027 school year as presented.
Have a motion?
Second.
Have a motion, a second. All those in favor, please indicate by a show of hands. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Do we have any other actions?
We do.
Ms. Chavez?
I move that we hire Christopher Anderson as the Chief of Operations.
Second.
Have a motion, a second. All those in favor by a show of hands. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Any further action?
One more, Mr. President. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. One more speech.
Good evening, President Curry, members of the board, and Dr. Rollo. I'm really excited to be back in Lubbock, Texas. That's a big thing for us. We have a long relationship with Lubbock, and everything from when I was leading the Going Band all the way to when we were here and served as Director of Fine Arts here previously. I have with me my wife, Amy, and this is the more famous Dr. Amy Anderson, and there's got to be one. Amy is a clinical professor at Baylor University, full professor, and teaches in the doctoral program in the nursing school there. She's a health policy advisor and advises for some groups in Washington, D.C., and she's all in the middle of it, and she does great work for access to health care. And so I think our missions align because access to education is what we're all about. My children, of course, went here for 11 years, and so they've attended 6 schools in Lubbock ISD, and they are all out of high school at this point, and our oldest is an engineer at Lockheed Martin with the F-35 radar, and the second one is a demand forecasting analyst, whatever that is, for aero electronics outside of Denver. Our third is pre-health sciences at Baylor, and our fourth is biology and pre-occupational therapy at SMU. Our family really believes in education. As you can tell, we're all about it, and education is really about choices and being able to make choices when you leave. And I think that those choices really center on the experience that students have. And so my mission is to build on the great work that's happened here for years and years, and to look at every touch point we have for kids, and how do we improve those experiences so that every single day they are having an amazing experience and are excited to come back, and then we can educate them to the point where they have choices that they can make when they get out. No matter which zip code you wake up in, you should have incredible access to everything that public schools offers, and we truly believe in that. Thank you for this opportunity. It's very humbling, and I take it extremely seriously, and I can't wait to get to work. Thanks so much.
Dr. Anderson, I've never put an employee on the clock, but I almost did. Do we have any further actions?
We do. I move that we hire Jeremy Sagabiel as the Executive Director of Facilities and Planning and Construction Operations.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, show of hands, please. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Congratulations.
Did I say your name right?
You did, actually.
Awesome. Okay.
Thank you, Board of Trustees and Superintendent Dr. Rollo. I appreciate this opportunity. I'm overjoyed and humbled to accept it. I do have with me my wife, Amanda Sogville, and son, Thad. One thing I do want to do is quote Abraham Lincoln. One of my favorite quotes of his is, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." And that's exactly what Lubbock ISD does. I have an extensive background in construction through various things, all the way from skate parks to disinfection plants to residential homes. And I'm overjoyed to shift my career to help with constructing the future with students and everybody else with Lubbock Independent School District. Thank you again.
Thank you.
We are going to take a brief recess so they can take pictures behind us, if everybody will stay in here. Okay, we're going to get going. Thank you for your patience. I will now open the floor to trustee comments.
So congratulations to all of our students for their accomplishments. I think it was interesting too, is a lot of the fine arts anyway ran in the family. We had some teachers and students that were up here together, which is great. That's nice to see. So congratulations to all of them. And it's just a joy to see what our students and our teachers do.
I was just going to thank you. You're exactly right, Beth. And when I believe it was almost 100 students that were recognized, when you support public education, that's what you're supporting. And I thought for the HOSA students, the health occupation students, people, when you support the bond issue, that gives more students opportunity. And you saw the career opportunities these kiddos are going to have. So I'm glad about the new additions to our staff and very appreciative for the support for public education.
Listening to mariachis from these students for Lubbock ISD is one of my favorite things to do. So it's no surprise that they're winning awards. And to all the other students, I mean, it's one of my favorite things that I get to do is shake the hands of those students that are excelling academically, athletically, and everything else that they're doing. And the healthcare folks, I had my second of a series of doctor's appointments this morning, so I get to look at the faces of the folks who are going to be taking care of rickety old John Weddigy someday. But it's bittersweet. Want to congratulate Dr. Anderson and welcome him. But obviously, along with that means that we lose somebody that we see a lot and get to work with a lot. So. Excited for new chapters for both of these gentlemen. I'm sure there are lots of exciting things ahead, including grandbabies. So, and the Sagabiels, congratulations. I think they left the room to talk more construction, but excited for that. Obviously, we've got a lot to do with bond passage and many projects for the next several years.
To the Mariachis Coronado and to Lubbock High, again, time and time again, Lubbock High has literally gone above and beyond, and Coronado is right back up on their heels. So I'm so proud of Coronado. I believe this is the third year, maybe second year. The Mariachis, they're fairly new.
Yes,
They're fairly new. But in regards to all of our qualifiers at UIL, these kids get up every morning early. Our swimmers, they all do that. So to everybody that's out in the audience, and you've got to see this. Look at the fruits of their labor. Look at the fruits of what Ally is doing for our students. Keep that in mind. That is what's important. Thanks to our folks that we just hired. I'm so proud because Chris Anderson, he's come back to Lubbock, but I had the pleasure of meeting him before and work with him. He was phenomenal. I'm so excited that he's back. He's going to do great things. And Mr. What is his last name? I do not want to talk about his name.
Sagabiel.
Yeah, Sagabiel. Congratulations. I'm excited he's here from Lubbock, so that's really exciting when you get to hire somebody that's here and knows the process as he does already. And Rick, thank you for the many, many, many years, 10 years I've been with you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the hard work you've done. I mean that, take care of your grandkids, enjoy them, enjoy your time with them. It's precious. God bless. Thanks to all of you that came out to speak. I know it's not hard, easy to come out and do what you guys did, but thank you anyway. Appreciate you.
Yes, wanted to note on the mariachi, it's hard to listen to mariachi and not smile, right? Not be in a great mood anytime you hear it. And, you know, it's kind of like listening to Mr. De Leon speak. You're always in a good mood when he's done. Wanted to recognize all the swimmers and divers, Gunner, and all the accolades that Mike Meeks shared. I think if Caesar was as outspoken about the accolades for those students, then we would have also known Addison Shaw was not just an All-State this year, but a 4-time as a senior All-State band member as well, which is amazing. Want to give a shout out to Amy Baker and CTE and recognizing HOSA. You know, we talk about all the time that the ATC and the CTE is our future workforce of Lubbock. And with 2 of the largest regional hospitals, I mean, what a great program for us to be excelling in. And so very proud to be part of that. and to Mr. Sagabil, Mr. Anderson. Rick, I will work very hard to make sure that Mr. Anderson has the affinity for buses that you are leaving behind with us. I mean, it's really impressive, and we'll miss you. So, thank you. And I've talked a lot. I would just like to say to everyone else that our SLAC committee is probably the least appreciated committee. That is, all of them are. Every voting member is a parent of a Lubbock ISD student, just like myself. And I hope that they do the same thing I do, and when they look at the content of the books, that they look at it with the vision and the through the lens of, if it's not appropriate for my daughter, then I don't want it in there. And what that creates for me as a parent is wonderful conversations of the Ratliff family and what we believe and how we choose to move forward on those. One thing I would also add is that anytime these books are challenged, if I'm thinking correctly, they're removed immediately from the shelf, right? So these are not books that are sitting in the library. These are books that, through the process, no matter how long it takes, once it's been challenged, it comes off the shelf until it's been resolved by the SLAC.
That is correct.
Okay. And
They're in the
that's-
library offices locked up.
Well, I appreciate, yeah. So with that, I apologize for taking up too much time. Thank you.
But just to add to what you just said, Jason, that is all on the web. All the name of the books, everything that is locked up. So if you guys have a computer, take the time to look at it, because I think that some of the things that were said here today wouldn't have been said if you had gone up to read some of that stuff. It's on the web. Thank you for saying that.
This evening has been a time of seeing excellence in the students, excellence in their instructors, and the appreciation of the parents, the families of those students. And I'm into asking, and what's that person's name? When it comes to Mr. Anderson and his wife, welcome them. And Jeremy and his wife, welcome him. And Rick, I'm going to really miss you.
And grandparent is the best job you will ever have.
I just echo all of my colleagues' words. A lot of nice things were said, so I don't want to take up time. I do want to say, and I don't want to steal your thunder, Dr. Rollo, but between last Friday and then getting to shake the hands of so many kids and mariachi and wrestling and swimming, I'm really proud of our district. We're not perfect. We make mistakes. We as a board make mistakes, but I continue to be reminded about how much amazing things we have. And for those that might feel differently, I encourage you and implore you to put your feet in one of our schools. We need mentors. We need volunteers. There's lots of ways that you can impact children that go beyond this night. And so I'm very, very appreciative of all the people that do that. And then one thing, and I don't want to get into ownership or who the owner is, but there's been a lot of discussion about a former property that we used to own at 701 East Queens. For the record, for constituents, for employees, we've not owned that building since 2016. It was recently sold for the third time since we own that property. And so I want that out there for people to where they have facts. Sometimes stories get in the way of facts, specifically as it relates to public ed. So, Dr. Rollo?
Yes, just so incredibly proud of the students we recognize today and grateful for the educators who pour into them and help them to be successful. We're so excited to have Dr. Anderson and also Mr. Sagabil as part of our team. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, and I'm confident in their abilities to move us forward. Last Friday, as you guys are very well aware, we had a false threat, but nevertheless a threat from two different angles that caused us to make the decision to go through the reunification process. And I just must take a moment to commend our team. Everybody at central office stopped what they were doing and switched gears and played a role in that reunification process. The Lubbock High staff was incredible. They all stepped up, and the kids were wonderful. The staff was wonderful. Everybody helped with that. Police, Shane Anderson, our Director of Safety and Security, all of the things that our team had practiced for years and years and years kicked in. It kicked in. And we debriefed on Monday, and there are a few tweaks that we want to make moving forward, as there would be in any incident. But everything ran like clockwork, and it was exactly as we had practiced. It took a long time to reunify almost 2,000 kids with their parents. So there was a little frustration with people waiting in line, but at the end of the day, every single kid was reunified with their families safely. So I just want to take a moment and thank our team, our Lubbock ISD team, students, staff, central office, everyone who played a part in that. We appreciate you, and I'm just grateful for each and every one of you. And then Rick, yes, I think that's worth the clap. This is Rick's last formal board meeting with us, and he has given an incredible amount of service to our district, both when he served as human resources and then for the last, how many years? 6, 7? 5.5. Yeah, as our chief operations officer. And I just want to thank you, Rick. And Nancy's right. GLO is the best job. And so I wish you the very, very best in your future endeavors, but you better not be a stranger. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Okay, moving on to our public hearing. It is 6:54, and we will now open the called public hearing. The purpose of this hearing is to hear comments from the public regarding the 2025 Texas Academic Performance Report, TAPER. I will now invite Miranda Ruvalcaba, Executive Director of Assessment and Accountability, to the podium to present the 2025 TAPER. Excuse me for my fumble.
Thank you. Okay. Good evening, Board of Trustees, President Curry, Dr. Rollo. The following slides pertain to the 2025 Texas Academic Performance Report, or TAPER, from the 24-25 school year. The Texas Education Code requires districts to publish an annual report and hold a public hearing that includes, among other things, the TAPER. Districts are required to post this information in a variety of locations and make it available to anyone who requests it. Among these requirements are posting district status for district accreditation, we are accredited, district accountability, our rating is B, financial rating, A superior, our special education determination status is meets requirements. Let's begin with our district performance from 24-25. The following slides show a quick performance overview by subject compared to the state. On the left is a comparison for reading by grade level or EOC at the approaches performance level. On the right is a cumulative view at the approaches, meets, and master's performance level. 5th grade RLA approaches scores outperform the state. RLA remained consistent in approaches and meets and increased in the master's levels from the previous year. For math, Lubbock ISD exceeded the state at the approaches performance level in 3rd and 5th grade. This graph shows the math sum percent history at each level for the past 5 years, with an increase in the master's level. Shown here is a quick view of Lubbock ISD science results for 5th, 8th, and biology EOC. And here we have the science 5-year sum percent by performance level, with an increase in approaches and meets levels from the previous year. And last are comparison results for Lubbock ISD Grade 8 Social Studies and U.S. History. And here are the social studies sum percent by performance level. This graph shows comparisons to the state when all grades are summed by subject, along with cumulative by performance level of all grades and subjects. Overall, grades and subjects combined, broken down by performance level for the past 5 years, can be seen here. Meets remain consistent, and master's performance levels increased from last year. Last year, we also received scores for academic growth in reading and math. Here we have our academic growth comparison to the state in both reading and math for all students and for accelerated learners, who are students that failed the previous year. And here we have our 2025 academic growth compared to 2024. The district saw increased growth from the previous year in 4th through 8th grade reading and English 1, as well as 4th through 6th grade math. The district taper includes a bilingual education ESL section. This bar graph compares the all subject approaches performance level for the state and district to the district bilingual and ESL programs. Students receiving services outscored students with parent denial or of services. And then shown here is a 4-year comparison by program. Now let's move to the district profile section of taper. Our district enrollment since the 2000-2001 school year has fluctuated. Currently, we're a downward trend since the 2014-15 school year. This is the ethnicity breakdown. There it is. Okay. This is the ethnicity breakdown comparing the district to the state. LISD has a higher percentage of African American, Hispanic, and American Indian students than the state. When looking at the district ethnicity breakdown over the past 10 years, our Asian, American Indian, and African American groups have held steady. Our Hispanic and 2 or more race students groups have increased, and white student groups have decreased in number. The taper reports total number of students by grade and the average class size compared to the state. With the exception of kindergarten, Lubbock ISD is below the class size of the state in all grades and subjects. Lubbock ISD percentage of economically disadvantaged students decreased from the previous year, but is higher than the state. When comparing district programs to the state, both in 2016 and 2025, the percentage of bilingual education has increased. The percentage of GT students is closer aligned to the state's percentage, and both the district and state percentages continue to increase for the number of students being served by special education programs. Total staff breakdown excludes auxiliary staff, since those services are contracted out. Lubbock ISD staff breakdown shows an increase in professional support from 2016. The central office administration staff percent is lower than the state average. The district's professional staff, which are campus admin, professional support, and teacher, make up 74% of total staff compared to the state's 64%. When looking at teachers by years of experience, Lubbock ISD has a higher percentage of teachers than the state with 5 or less years of experience. This has increased since 2016. 60% of LISD teachers have 10 or less years of experience compared to the state with 55%. The circle graph shows the 2023-2024 actual financial data breakdown compared to 2014-15. Our actual per student revenue was $14,652, an increase of $555 from the previous year. Let's look at the college and career readiness indicators for 24-25. Since this data represents annual graduates followed into the next fall, it is lagging data from the 23-24 school year, almost 2 years old. Longitudinal graduation rates follow a cohort of students beginning their 9th grade year. What percent graduated in 4, 5, or 6 years, and a look at each class by those who graduated and received a Texas Certificate of High School Equivalency, continued and enrolled in the fall, and dropped out or did not return to school in the fall. When looking at students who graduated in 4, 5, or 6 years, LISD graduation percentages were lower than the state. The percent of students graduating on time in 4 years increased from the previous year. This comparison to the state shows the percentage of 2024 graduates under the Recommended or Distinguished Achievement Programs or the Foundation High School Program with an endorsement or at the distinguished level of achievement. Longitudinal rates only include the cohort of students beginning their 9th grade year in 2021. Annual rates include all students graduating in 2024. The college and career or military ready graduate component is the percentage of annual 2024 graduates who met at least one of the 10 criteria. This component is divided up into 2 areas: college readiness, which is meeting criteria in one of the first 5 indicators, and career military ready, meeting criteria on one of the last 5 indicators. The blue table shows that overall Lubbock ISD had 87.9% of its 2024 graduates meet at least one of the 10 criteria. Average ACT scores for District 2024 graduates were higher than the state. As a reminder, the district SAT results include the district initiative of testing all 11th grade students each year. This report from the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board shows where 2024 graduates enrolled following high school, along with their first-year GPA. Students attending private or out-of-state universities are not included. 72% of students enrolling in a 2 or 4-year university had a C or higher average than their first year, 60% a B or higher, and 47% an A average. We are required to report campus and district progress to our House Bill 3 goals for early childhood literacy, math proficiency, and CCMR. Our first goal is for the 3rd grade reading or math. 32% of campuses met the reading goal of 56%, and 29% of campuses met the math goal of 55%. As a district, 49% of students passed the reading assessment and 40% passed the math assessment, resulting in the district not meeting both the math and reading goals. Our next goal for 8th grade, we had 40% of the campuses meet the reading goal of 55%. For math, we had 50% of campuses meeting the goal of 44%. As a district, reading and math scores were at 53% and 40% respectively, resulting in the district not meeting the reading or math goals. Finally, we have our CCMR goal with 83% of campuses exceeding the 85% goal. As a district, 88% of LISD seniors earn CCMR credit, meeting the district CCMR goal. The district is also required to include in their annual report the report on violent or criminal incidents by campus. Shown here is the report from 2024-25 with the number of incidents reported by campus. In closing, here are some of the accomplishments of Lubbock ISD. The district elementary reading language arts scores surpassed the state. 3rd and 5th grade math approaches scores outperform the state. When looking at academic growth in reading and math, we saw increases in 9 out of 13 tests from the previous year. And the district met the CCMR goal. That concludes my presentation. Do you have any questions?
Question, why
Yes, ma'am.
do you think, Miranda, that our bilingual kids outperform?
Outperform the state?
Yes.
I would assume that would be our dual language programs, our campuses.
You would think that they'd be challenged more than the other kids, and the other kids would do better, but it's the opposite, which is, it's amazing to me that our bilingual kids do so well. I think that deserves recognition.
Well, especially if those children start in the dual language program in pre-K. By the time they test in 3rd grade, they already have some biliteracy skills, and we know that's important.
That's why it's so important to have the dual language that we currently have, whether it's 50-50, 90-10, whatever the case may end up being at the end of the day. But because of this, that's proof right there that we're successful. So we need to continue to have it in all of our schools. I wish we had it in our high schools the way San Antonio does, but thanks for sharing that. That's great news.
Any other questions? Okay.
Thank
very
you,
much.
Miranda. You always do a great job presenting the TAPER report.
Has anyone signed in to make comments to the board regarding the 2025 TAPER report?
No, sir.
If there are no further comments regarding the 2025 Texas Academic Performance Report, we will now close the called public hearing and reconvene the regular meeting of the trustees. It is 7:08 p.m. and the public hearing is now closed. Moving on to financials, let's see, sorry. Dr. Wilkins, approval of budget summary report, budget amendments, and budget transfers, statement of taxes collected, and the investment report for January 2026.
All right. Good evening, President Curry, Board of Trustees, Dr. Rollo. So I'll draw your attention just to the cover page since we've been a focus on kids here tonight. And we always in our department try to put a fresh picture of kids because that's what our focus is. And even though we're in the finance department, it's about kids and about kids' success. So we always try to draw our attention back to what our focus is. If you'll flip past the table of contents, the first page we're going to be drawn to is our revenues over expenditures. And you can see that revenue collection has slowed down just a little bit, but that's to be expected with us being a Class 2 payment schedule. And so we will start picking up payments again in March, and that'll start picking back up. But we're staying on track. We're a little bit ahead. We should be about 50% expended. We're about 61% expended, but we've got some front-loaded expenditures that's causing that right now. So we should catch back up and even out throughout the year. Your next page is your food service fund. Airmark and Lori and them do a great job, Carol, of managing that, and they're staying right on track with our food service. No concerns there. Moving on to our debt service. Payments are starting to come due on that. We're starting to make payments. You're starting to see some things come out of our debt service, so rocking along there. Next is our capital expenditures. So that's our bond funds. And you're starting to see some funds get put in there. Those stayed at zero for a while, but now we've got some movement. We've got some things happening. And with Mr. Seigelbell here now, it's going to be moving pretty quickly, so you'll see those numbers start changing pretty frequently. Moving on to our grants. So this is the Head Start, and this month actually is the end of this grant cycle. So you'll see this being expended, and then March we'll start a new Head Start grant. So we were at 91.6% when this was pulled. The next page is our budget amendments, and if you look at that, it's mostly revenue recognition. The other one is down at the bottom is capital projects, but it's all revenue, recognizing revenue, so nothing there. Moving on to budget transfers, so just adjusting budgets from where people started at the beginning of the year, moving it around to where they need it now. Moving on to the next one. So this page shows shows our tax collection based on our fiscal year. So we're currently setting it about 40% collected based on our fiscal year. The next page is LCAD's. And if you look kind of to the middle of that, it shows 90.5% collected. That's based on their fiscal year, which is October to September. The next page shows it in a little different view, just compared to other years. The next page you can see is our investment report. We're dropping a little bit, but that's to be expected with the economy and how things are going. And 3.91% rate of return, which is still really good. It's better than the 3.72 that people are getting on the tax pool accounts. So we're still real pleased with that, and Mr. Barnes in our Treasury Department. So cash flow statement. This is just showing you that we're doing good on cash flow. We try to watch that to make sure we don't have too much invested at any one time, that we can always stay on top of things. And then the last few pages is our enrollment, and you can see that we are down still around 870 kids, but I will draw your attention to the very last page. Our attendance is up. So
That's worth a clap.
Yeah, good job.
we were at 92% last year. Currently, we're sitting at 93.58, which that does help us tremendously.
And every percentage point is how many dollars?
It's roughly about $1 million.
But more importantly, that means kids are in school and they're learning.
Yes. It's got a dual effect. We gain achievement efforts from the kids, and we gain financial dollars. So.
And I know you've led a concerted effort, so thank you for those efforts to increase attendance.
You're welcome.
And
It
our
was the
campus
principals.
principals.
Yes,
Yeah.
our
the
principals.
Principals, but you started that initiative, so.
Very focused on that.
Yeah.
And our officers.
Yes, yes.
I'll answer any questions if you have any questions on the financials.
Thank you, Dr. Wilkins.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to approve the financial reports for January 2026 as presented?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor by show of hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Moving on to our consent agenda, board approval of the minutes for the workshop meeting held January 8th, 2026, and the regular meeting held January 22nd, 2026. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the January 2026 board meetings as presented?
Also move.
I've got a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by show of hands. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Moving on to academic action items, consideration and approval of the process for formal reconsideration of library titles. Is this a thing, Dr. Rollo?
It is. It absolutely is a thing. I want to start by thanking the members of our SLAC, and that is the School Library Advisory Council. And every member, as you said earlier, Mr. Ratliff, every member of that committee is a parent of children in our district. And so they are being extremely thoughtful. They're having very rich conversations, and I am grateful for their work because it is a volunteer job. I also want to thank Misty because Misty and Kim. I'm looking at Kim and I'm saying Misty. Kim has really taken the lead on this committee with Misty's support, and then Amy Higgins is also helping to make sure that the committee has everything they need. So I just want to thank you for everything you've done on that. And again, I do want to reiterate that when a reconsideration form has been filed, by law, that book comes off the shelf until it goes through the process. And we had a backlog waiting to get this process in front of the SLAC, agreed upon by the SLAC, and then now it's coming to you. Last month, you guys approved the acquisition process. So that was step one because our librarians had not been able to purchase books in over a year. And so now they're starting that process of their acquisitions. And then this is what we're bringing to you today. It is consideration and approval of a process for formal reconsideration of library titles. And you can see from the actual process, there's a two-phased process where the books will be reviewed, and then they will make a determination of whether to keep the book in the library, whether to keep it at certain levels but not other levels. Anything else you want to add, Misty?
Just that in that phase, they want to reiterate that the book is removed immediately. SLAC has a review process, and then they make a recommendation to the board, and then the board makes that final decision. So when you look at those phases, each piece of the phase is time-stamped based upon the law. And so the procedures follow those pieces of the law, and they took some extra concerted efforts to make sure they were being intentional in their process.
And Sandra's here, and she's serving on that committee, so I can thank her personally since she's in the room today. Thank you, Sandra.
We're
I'd
happy
like
to answer
ask Kim a
questions.
question,
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think that it's worth the question and for it to be answered. The fact of how many people you have reading, how many books do we have out there, and how you guys are getting through them just as quick as you can. It's not, anybody wants to come and read, they can what?
Yes, ma'am. Prior to the Senate Bill 13 being, or
I lost the number,
13.
13, being passed. We had 5 committee members that would read each title that we had a form on. We initially had over 100 titles that were turned in. Some of those we are able to weed out because they're low circulation. Kids aren't checking them out, so we work with the librarian to determine. That's kind of phase 1 in our process now, and it was before. So we had the list whittled down to around 80 titles. We got it down to about 50 through committee. We had teachers, principals, community members, parents reading those titles. Now with Senate Bill 13, once that passed, we stopped everything back in June because we knew we were going to have to redo the process. And so that's why we have been on hold. We've gotten the acquisition process through, and now once the challenge process hopefully is voted on this evening, then the timeline of 90 days will begin. We have about 50 books left, and we will bring those to our next SLAC committee meeting on March 9th, and then they are planning on signing up. Each one of them is taking several books, along with a non-voting member, a librarian is going to give input on those books as well, and they'll have 90 days to make a decision on those and bring that recommendation to you all.
Thanks for the transparency.
Absolutely.
Putting it on the web, letting folks know. Let them know exactly what steps you're doing. It's a process.
It is.
And that way can be explained to them
Yes,
what's
ma'am.
happening. The transparency is there, so I want to thank you guys so much. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I was just say, one other thing I wanted to make sure and clarify, when a student picks out a book to check out, if a parent has asked for their child not to be able to check that book out, it is flagged and the child's not allowed to check the book out.
Yes, ma'am.
And then once a child does check out a book, the parent gets an email telling them your child picked out whatever
Yes, ma'am.
book. So there's a lot of, transparency is a word we overuse, but a lot of clear process for parents to know exactly what their child has access to and brings home.
Yes, ma'am. That is correct.
Trustee Sharp, I can validate that that is actually happening because I get the emails when my daughter
Same.
checks out all the books and who
Had a
knew she
couple
Or
of
if
parents
they're
that have
late
said,
turning
"Oh
them
my
in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know my daughter was interested in the Guinness Book of World
Yeah.
Records, but
Yeah,
nevertheless.
Yes.
Should I worry that I don't get emails?
Yeah, high school boys, right?
2 things for clarification, and Ms. Chavez touched on it a little bit, but just because there were some comments earlier in the meeting, the removal of challenge books didn't start until September. So old policy, we left them in place while they were being reviewed.
Correct.
New policy,
Yes.
effective September 1st
Yes.
or 3rd, or
Yes.
we started removing all those, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So this
So
school
those were
year, we
removed.
removed, yes.
Old policy, no. Also, with respect to the old policy, while we would love to have gotten it done quicker, our policy that we had in writing for way before this became a thing was that the book had to be read in its entirety, correct?
Yes, sir.
And so that is what was taking so long. It wasn't purposeful,
Right.
but didn't necessarily have people knocking down the door to read.
A volunteer.
books.
Yes,
Right,
sir.
by the entire committee in
Yes.
its entirety, which meant
So,
4 or
And-
5 people having to pass the
Right.
book.
And if there was only one book, they would have to pass that around, or we passed it.
Kim, one question, and if you don't
Yes,
know the
sir.
answer, we can, but let the books that were under the old process,
Yes.
let's say that went through the challenge and were either kicked out, kept in, whatever the case is, can those be re-challenged under the new process since we have a new process? Or because isn't there like a 2-year waiting period or one after we've gone through the process?
There is a 2-year waiting period technically. The way that people are interpreting the law today is that is in place for books that are received the challenge and part of the new process.
Okay.
So if you were a book in the previous process, then it could be filed on to go through the new process. That has not gone to court or had any ruling on it, and so we have asked legal interpretation for some support on that.
Well, I appreciate you guys and all the people that volunteer, Sandra and to all the other men and women. I don't try to make light of the deal, but it is there's so many things that we focus on that don't necessarily come back to increasing our taper report. And so I
Yes,
think
sir.
this is one of those things that is, I'm not sure that the public appreciates the amount of time this takes from a lot of different people, where maybe we're not focusing on, the thing that we're primarily charged with. So
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you both.
Yes, thank you.
And thanks to those volunteers.
Yes.
Do I have a motion to approve the process for formal reconsideration of library titles as approved and submitted by the School Library Advisory Council?
I so move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by show of hands. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Moving on, consideration and approval of appointment of School Health Advisory Council members. Dr. Rollo.
Yes, so you just approved a process by the School Library Advisory Council, this, which we call SLAC. This group we actually call SHAC. So it's a little bit confusing, but this is in law. This is the School Health Advisory Council. And anytime that we approve new members, that now comes to you guys. And so that's why we're bringing you some additional members. This is a committee that needs to be made up of about 50% parents and then 50% community members. We have about 48 people who actually are part of this, but we have a cap, a ceiling of 25 people that can be voting members by the law. And again, half of those need to be parents. And so right now we have 9 parents and 7 community members. The way that people volunteer to be a part of this committee is we have a website, and people can actually go in and fill out a form saying that they're interested in serving on this council. And as long as our balance is relatively equal at 50% parent, 50% community member, then, and we are not above that 25 cap, which we are not at this time of voting members, then we have accepted those applications when we can. And so we are bringing to you 2 additional parents who would like to be a part of this council. That is Jason Van Allen, and then the other parent is Lori Iapolo. And then 2 additional community members who have requested to be a part of that, Dr. Nancy Trevino and Susan Perez. And both, I believe Dr. Trevino and Susan Perez have been coming to the meetings because they are posted open meetings, but they have not been voting members. So they have both requested to be voting members. Happy to answer any questions.
I'd ask Misty a question if I can on, you're kind of involved pretty heavily in this. And so of the 4, Dr. Rollo mentioned there's been some regular attendance. Can you share kind of any value add or any issues or anything that you've seen?
Those members, the community members that she mentioned, have actually been coming for more than 1 school year. We meet in SHAC once a month. And SHAC is, as the health advisory, there's a large community group that comes to just give impact or input or feedback. We're a pretty positive group right now as far as where we're moving forward. They're not looking for significant changes. We're looking for some tweaks. There are laws that are required that SHAC implements. And so a lot of things that we already have in place in the school district, SHAC has made recommendations to the board. I think that's one thing that's important to remember is that the board decides. So SHAC simply makes a community recommendation on things around suicide prevention, fentanyl prevention, those pieces, but the board ultimately decides for all of those things. I hope I'm answering your question.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I want to thank Patty Braden. She is our coordinator of health services. She is new in her role, and we realized we weren't necessarily following all of the rules that are in the law. And so she is really helping us to get into compliance with our SHAC committee. And so I want to thank her for that work. And then I also want to thank Dr. Kami Finger because she provides a great deal of support in the background for SHAC as well.
And if we can also thank Dr. Catherine Wells.
Yes.
She serves as our chair of SHAC, and we're grateful for her volunteer support.
Any other questions? Do I have a motion to approve the appointment of the additional School Health Advisory Council members as presented?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by show of hands. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0. Please let the record reflect Ms. Chavez had to step out. Moving on to administrative action items. consideration and approval of certification of unopposed candidates for the general election for the Board of Trustees election on May 2nd, 2026. Dr. Rollo.
Yes, so we have 3 unopposed candidates for our Board of Trustees for the May election. And so these next two items are related. The first one is the certification of unopposed candidates for Lubbock Independent School District. Trustee 3, District 3 is Jason Ratliff. Trustee District 4 is James Perrin, and at-large trustee is Mitzi Ziegner. And so this is just your approval of the certification of having unopposed candidates.
I know I can't make the motion, but
I've asked them if, or one of them, if they understood what they were signing up for. They indicated they did, so.
And that was not me.
No, it wasn't you.
You knew what you were signing up for.
Yeah.
Do I have a motion to approve the certification of unopposed candidates for the general election for the Board of Trustees election on May 2nd, 2026?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, a second. All those in favor, please indicate by show of hands. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0. Again, related item, consideration and approval of an order of cancellation of the general election for the Board of Trustees election on May 2nd, 2026. Dr. Rollo.
So this is not canceling the May 2nd election, just our part of it. And so this is just an order canceling that election, which actually saves the district quite a bit of money as well. So we're grateful for that. And I want to thank Amanda and her team for all of their work on the election cycle. This was her first time to go through that. And so Amanda, thank you and your team.
Do I have a motion to approve the order of cancellation of the general election for the Board of Trustees election on May 2nd, 2026?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor, please indicate by show of hands. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0. Consideration and approval of annual review of investment policy. Dr. Wilkins.
Yes, sir. What you have in front of you is our annual review of our investment policy. The Public Funds Investment Act 2256.005 requires every year that the Board of Trustees review our investment policy. Our policy is lined out in CDA local. This is the same policy that you saw in the Finance Committee meeting, and we're bringing it to you for our annual approval.
Questions? Comments? Do I have a motion to approve the investment policy and the list of qualified brokers for investment purposes as presented?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by show of hands. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0. Please let the record reflect that Mr. Weddigy stepped out. Moving on, consideration and approval of audit agreement for external auditor for the district. Dr. Wilkins.
Yes, sir. This is our agreement for an external auditor. Board policy CFC legal requires us to be audited annually every year, and the board selects the external auditor that reports directly to the board. And so this is the agreement with Bollinger, Seegers, Gilbert, Moss to extend the contract for another year for them to be our auditor going forward. And so that is what you have in front of you, and that's what we're seeking approval for that.
Do I have a motion to approve Bollinger, Seeger, Gilbert, and Moss LLP as the district's external audit firm for the 2025-2026 fiscal year?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by show of hands. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0. Consideration and approval of teacher certification plan for the 2026-2027, 2027-2028, and the 2028-2029 school years. Dr. Rollo.
Yes, so out of the last legislative session, as you guys are aware, the commissioner has set rules around we have to have certified teachers in our core content areas. And so we are not there yet. As you guys saw in the last workshop, Crystal Floyd went over a very extensive plan with goals and strategies to try to ensure that we get there by that 28-29 school year over the next 5 years. And so she's here. I want to thank her for her work on that. It's a very rigorous plan with strategies, and I want to thank her and we were happy to answer any questions. This has to be submitted by March 2nd.
Oh.
To TEA.
I'm thrilled and delighted. So
I know somebody who will make the motion. Do I have a motion to?
We're gonna
Any
let
other
you
comments?
too, okay? We're gonna let you.
Do I have a motion to approve the teacher certification plan for the next 3 school years and the submission of an application to TEA to delay the teacher certification requirement until the beginning of the 2029-2030 school year?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by a show of hands. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you all so much for your work on this.
Moving on. Consideration and approval of a resolution regarding a period of prayer and reading of religious text during the school day pursuant to Senate Bill 11. Dr. Rollo.
Yes, so Senate Bill 11 requires that by March the 1st, our Board of Trustees has an open vote around whether or not we want to approve a resolution that allows a specific prayer time and religious text reading time at our campuses. And so I'll turn it back to you, President Curry, to share that resolution.
Colleagues, I'm going to read the resolution, and then if there's any discussion, happy to entertain that. Whereas the Texas legislature recently passed SB 11, allowing the Lubbock Independent School District Board of Trustees to adopt a policy requiring every campus of the district to provide students and employees with an opportunity to participate in a period of prayer and reading of the Bible or other religious texts on each school day. Whereas Lubbock ISD affirms and upholds the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, which protects students' religious freedom in public schools. Specifically, the Establishment Clause ensures that the government cannot favor any particular religious belief or religion over non-belief, and the Free Exercise Clause ensures that individuals have the right to to practice their religious beliefs free from government interference. And whereas the Texas Education Code 25.901 affirms that a public school has an absolute right to public school student has an absolute right to individually, voluntarily, and silently pray or meditate in school in a manner that does not disrupt the instructional or other activities of the school. A person may not require or coerce a student to engage in or refrain from such prayer or meditation during any school activity. And whereas students and employees in Lubbock ISD already have the right and ability to participate in prayer and reading of the Bible or other religious texts during multiple times throughout the day, including but not limited to the daily period of silence before classes begin in the morning, between class periods, during the lunch period, and after classes end in the afternoon, in religious clubs or groups, and at any other time such activities are constitutionally protected. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Lubbock Independent School District, for the reasons outlined above, Lubbock ISD chooses not to adopt a policy requiring every campus of the district to provide students and employees with an opportunity to participate in a period of prayer and reading of the Bible or other religious texts on each school day. Ooh.
Discussion?
So to reiterate,
I can't repeat that.
Yeah. As it stands right now, we've got before school, moment of silence, I guess after the bell rings, but before school starts, during lunch, after school, where students are allowed to pray, read scripture, whatever they choose to do with that time. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
We also have, sorry, you go ahead.
Just to add to that, and it's been like that for years, and it hasn't changed. They have after-school program of prayer at Lubbock High currently. So I think that we have plenty of it. They have an opportunity, any opportunity for them to do that. So I'm excited for this.
Kind of to build on what you said, that I do know of many clubs that we have after school that are sponsored and attended, and I think that's great, and I think that's a wonderful opportunity.
Lots of opportunities for students. And as my former pastor used to say, every time there's a math test, there's a lot of praying going on. So.
Yeah, I would just add 2 things. One, we already have several dozen religious clubs and organizations and churches that volunteer in our schools, as Ms. Chavez said, that have been doing it for years, long before we were on the board, long after we'll be off the board. And so that continues to be an open invite to anyone who wants to foster an environment that promotes healthy learning in our schools, whether that's at the elementary level, middle school level, or high school level. I'd also just like to add on a personal note, there's already prayer in our schools. My youngest participated in a Bible study last year at Evans Middle School voluntarily. It was student-led. They were able to use an empty classroom, so this was not promoted or organized by a teacher. I will give credit to one student in particular, not my son, another kid that I believe was spearheaded it, but it ended up having over 46 kids every day at lunch that were meeting for 5 to 10 minutes. And so that is what is happening in our schools, and that is why I, again, invite anyone who feels differently. I respect your feelings, but I invite you into our schools to see that we have real kids, real success, as my friend Mr. Perkypile there in the audience would say. And so anyway, I appreciate what we already allow and promote and foster within our schools. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution regarding a period of prayer and reading of religious texts during the school day pursuant to Senate Bill 11?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by a show of hands. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Moving on to procurement, approval of district purchases. Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Curry, Board of Trustees. Just one item for your consideration this evening. This is it's a district purchase, but to be clear, these are pass-through funds. This is the Lubbock High School band performing in Disneyland in California. The funds are going to come from parents and students and fundraising and other private donations. So these are just pass-through funds. And it looks like their trip is coming up pretty quick. So seeking your approval for this.
Do they need chaperones?
You beat me to it.
What did you say?
Do they need chaperones? We have some volunteers.
I can
That's
check.
home. That's home to me. No comment?
Do I have a motion to approve the district purchase as presented?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor with show of hands. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Moving on to approval of construction job order, contracting delivery method and delegation of authority. Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, sir. This is a standard item that we bring to you on delivery method and delegation of authority. Keeping in mind there's this two-step process to these things, and so this is the first of the steps. This is not the purchase, but rather just the approval to negotiate the procurement process. So the first bullet, 2 items for your consideration on this delegation of authority. One is the professional service for asbestos abatement for Hodges Elementary School, and the other is the demolition and disposal of Hodges Elementary. So again, this is just a delivery method. This is not seeking the approval of the purchase.
And just for the record, we did discover that there was some legal concerns about whether or not the property belongs to the heirs or can belong to us. And so it might behoove us to table this one for right now while we're digging deeper into that. That's happened since this agenda was posted.
All right. With that, then I would, due to the lingering title issues that are not yet resolved, I would move to table this item as well as the first 2 approval of construction purchases to be tabled and reserved to be.
For the record, Mr. Ratliff, if we can just do the job order contracting first.
Very good.
Do you want to restate that?
I would restate it as I move to table the construction job order, contracting, delivery method, and delegation of authority around the professional services, the asbestos abatement at Hodges Elementary School, and the TIPS, demolition and disposal of Hodges Elementary School.
Motion to table. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by show of hands. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Moving on to approval of district construction purchases, Mr. Rodriguez.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
would also, due to the same title issues, I would move to table the first two of these construction purchases, asbestos abatement at Hodges Elementary School and demolition and disposal of Hodges Elementary School.
I have a motion to table the first two items on the construction purchases.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by show of hands. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Now we will move on to the approval of district construction purchases. Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Curry. If it's okay, I would like to take a moment, a personal point of privilege, just to say thanks. It has been a great ride, and I appreciate what this district has done for me and my family. I will miss my people. These are my people, and it's been a great ride. And I thank Dr. Rollo for pushing me into this role, because this is not something I ever anticipated myself doing, and she gave me the courage and the support to do it. And so I thank you for that. And Miss D, my friend, we'll miss you. We'll miss you. Dr. Wilkins, you'll be all right. Just balance the budget. Thank you for that. I will bring for your consideration this evening one district purchase. This is a not-to-exceed number for surveying services. And so what this does, this is a very safe number for us to use to make sure that as our bond projects come up, if surveying is needed, that Park Hill can provide those services without slowing the project down. So this is just one of the options that we'll have for consideration as bond projects come up. So again, re-emphasize, this is a not to exceed number. So
Yes, sir. And we will not have a collective motion. Do I have a motion to approve the district construction purchase as presented?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by show of hands. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Before I move on to the other item, and I should have done this in trustee comments, so I apologize, but Rick, I want to thank you. Very few of us will ever know the time and effort that we went through in COVID, and super proud of our district. You were a large part of that, and so know that I will always think fondly of you when I think of the challenges that we persevered. As I said earlier, we're not a perfect district, but there's several things that I will hang my hat on, and that is one of them that I don't think there was enough credit given during that time, but it's extremely proud of what we were able to do. So, and you were a very large part of that. So I hope you keep that as a token and understand that you're well respected and appreciated by a ton of folks.
I just want to echo real quick. And anytime I smell hand sanitizer, it smells bad. It was not your fault. You
I have a
didn't.
gym full. If you would know, I don't have that anymore.
We went from not enough to
so much, and it all
42
smelled
years
terrible.
worth.
And then they all caught on fire at Rice.
Yes.
And Friday, you were in rare form, and that was great. So thank you for what you did.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Chief of operations, the lead that day.
Good in a crisis.
Thank
He
you.
absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Although I do not expect any action after, we do have need for an executive closed session. So an executive closed session will be held under the provisions of Texas Government Code Chapter 551. It is 7:46 p.m. and we are adjourned to closed session. Ladies, gents, short break and then go in there.
I couldn't wait.
Same, sorry.